All right, let's dive into a topic that feels like it's been ripped straight from a science fiction movie, but is happening right now, on the front lines of reality. We're talking about how artificial intelligence is fundamentally rewriting the entire playbook for modern warfare.
And that question right there, it really gets to the heart of it all, doesn't it? We're already past the point of just having smarter drones or faster computers. We're stepping into a world where the most critical decisions in a conflict, literal life and death decisions, could be made at the speed of light by an algorithm.
So, what we're witnessing is nothing short of a new age of war. For centuries, conflict has always moved at the speed of human thought. Strategies were planned out, they were debated, and they were executed over days, weeks, sometimes even months. But now we're entering an era of machine speed, where the battlefield can change completely in a matter of microseconds.
And the difference here is, well, it's night and day. Traditional military doctrine was like a fixed playbook. It was rigid, it was predictable. But this new algorithmic doctrine, it's more like a living, breathing thing. It's totally adaptive, it's data-driven, and it can literally rewrite its own strategy in the middle of a fight.
So let's break that down. What exactly is algorithmic doctrine? Well, to put it simply, it's a military strategy that learns from data and constantly revises itself at machine speed. Just try to imagine a plan that can evolve faster than any team of human generals ever could. A plan that's always optimizing itself based on what's happening on the battlefield that very second. Okay, so you might be wondering, why the big rush? Why this massive shift? Well, it all boils down to one single concept: the quest for what the military calls decision superiority. In a modern conflict, the winner isn't necessarily the side with the biggest tanks or the most planes. It's the side that can think and act the fastest. And decision superiority is exactly what it sounds like. It's the ability to see the battlefield, predict what's going to happen next, make a choice, and then act on it. And to do all of that faster and with way more confidence than your opponent. In this digital age, that is the ultimate strategic advantage. So how does AI actually pull this off? Well, to really get it, we need to look at a classic military framework, the ODA loop. It stands for observe, orient, decide, and act. This is the basic cycle of decision-making in any conflict. You see what's happening, you figure out what it means, you decide what to do about it, and then you do it. In this is where AI just completely changes the game. It supercharges every single step of that loop. It can fuse data from thousands of different sources in an instant, it can prioritize threats, and it can lay out all the potential options for a human commander. The goal here isn't to replace the human, but to free them from all that cognitive overload, allowing them to make better decisions way faster.
And look, don't think for a second that this is all just sci-fi theory. This is happening right now. The U.S. Department of Defense has a program called Project Maven that uses AI to sift through insane amounts of surveillance video. And DARPA's Mosaic Warfare project is all about creating these fluid, adaptable networks of sensors and weapons, what they're calling kill webs, that can be reconfigured on the fly.
But, and this is a huge but, all of this incredible speed comes with some pretty profound risks. We absolutely have to talk about the ghosts in the machine, the hidden and frankly scary dangers of unleashing warfare at the speed of algorithms.
The first major danger is something called algorithmic opacity. Basically, it's the classic black box problem. The AI might spit out a recommendation, a course of action, but the human operator can't actually see why. They can't understand the logic behind the choice, and that creates this dangerous lack of transparency when lives are hanging in the balance.
And what makes that black box problem even worse is a very human flaw we all have: automation bias. When you're under the immense pressure of combat, there's this natural tendency to just trust the machine, to uncritically accept what it's telling you. And over time, that can lead to a really dangerous erosion of a commander's own expert judgment. So you take that opacity, you add in our human bias to just trust the machine, and what do you get? You get the terrifying risk of what are being called flash wars. Just imagine two rival AIs locked in this cycle of action and reaction, escalating a conflict automatically, maybe without any human intent at all. It's like the flash crash on the stock market, but instead of losing money, the stakes are global stability and, of course, human lives. All of this just leads to this huge, fundamental ethical question, right? If an autonomous system makes a catastrophic mistake, who's responsible? Is it the programmer who wrote the code, the commander who deployed the system, the machine itself? This is the core challenge of maintaining what's called meaningful human control, and it really strikes at the heart of accountability in war.
Now, these are scary problems for sure, but they are not unsolvable. What they require, though, is a whole new blueprint for governance, a framework that is specifically designed to keep humans in the loop and make sure this incredible power is used responsibly.
The path forward really seems to focus on three key actions. First, we desperately need explainable AI, or XAI, to crack open that black box so we know why a system is making a recommendation. Second, there has to be rigorous, constant testing to make sure these systems are reliable and secure. And third, and this might be the most important one, we need ironclad policies that demand human authorization before any critical, irreversible action is taken. Period.
Which brings us right back to the central tension, the final dilemma of this entire topic. We are in a global race for technological superiority, but it's a race that pits the absolute need for speed against the massive burden of responsibility.
There's a key insight here that I think just sums it up perfectly. The forces that are going to prevail in this new era, they won't just be the fastest. They're going to be the ones that figure out how to successfully fuse that operational speed with a deep, profound sense of responsibility.
And that leaves us with the final and most critical question we have to ask ourselves. As this technology accelerates, as the race for battlefield AI gets more and more intense, can our ethics, our policies, and our sense of responsibility actually keep pace? That right there, that is the challenge that is going to define the future of war.